All right, this one is exciting for many reasons. You're right around our 100th guest, which is which is pretty awesome. And
cool.
you are our first movie star. So that was an awkward
you
laugh.
give me too much
credit. You are. You started a movie. That makes you a movie star. Most people try to get out to Hollywood. You were there and then moved to Central New York.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I did it all. I went all backwards. Well, my wife is from here, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall when I was living there already. It was a mass exodus coming, and it was like a flood, honestly. There's not a lot that shoots in California anymore. It's really just television. And, I knew that it was coming, and I didn't really want to be there anymore. I mean, I've lived in California a lot for a lot of parts of my life. But as far as things that I love about California, LA is pretty far down that list. So yeah, I came out here, and the first thing I did was really just try to still make things work or happen out here. I got into education. I wanted to pass on my knowledge, teach film and things like that. But then all the tax incentives started happening.
Yeah.
And that's when I really started doing a lot of outreach to a lot of boutique production houses and studios and stuff like that, and really trying to get more people to recognize this area. Because I kind of recognized it immediately. Like the first time I came up here, I just saw there's so much character to this place. And
it's awesome to get a new set of eyes.
Yeah.
We were born and raised there, and we hear that a lot from people that come in and they're like, wow. And we're like, really? Wow? Like this place?
I mean, there is though.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If you go, my parents live in Arizona, and if you go out to where they live in their place, if you took all the street signs away, I wouldn't know where they lived. It's all track housing. It all looks the same.
I had a Zoom call yesterday with a colleague in Vegas, and I did it outside because it was gorgeous out. And he's like, "Oh my God, look how green it is behind you." He goes, "We don't get green here," which is is Yeah. So
I think it was like 117 or something when I was talking to my dad the other day. But there's so much here, and you can make it look like so many other places, and that's one of the things that I really kind of fell in love with when I first started moving up here.
So tell us about El Sendero, and how did it come to life, and what sets it apart from like a traditional production company?
Well, El Sendero is Spanish for the path.
Okay.
And that kind of came to life recognizing that we were on a path together as a production team. When we first started shooting the film Dogs on the Sendero, I wasn't planning on naming a production company after it by any means, but it felt right. The whole term, like, everything happens for a reason, I know it's overused and cliche, and I never like to subscribe to that because I like to feel like I have some kind of control over my own destiny. But it certainly feels that way. As soon as we kind of just started on this whole journey, all of our paths seem to kind of converge. And it's funny because you think you're on the right route to where you want to go, right? Like the journey is just as important as the destination, or at least it's what I like to tell myself.
Yeah.
But it seemed like we were striving for this thing that we wanted, particularly John McGinty and I. We had this idea of how we wanted the industry to work for us, and it wasn't. So, COVID hit, and it just kind of felt like the right time to do something. I mean, I've been saying it for years. Let's just be creative. Let's just keep pushing forward. Let's do something. We're building resources. Why can't we do this ourselves? But filmmaking is it's a team sport.
Talk about your team. You keep saying we, and so you starred in the movie and produced it as well, right? That's got to be crazy in itself. But talk a little bit about your team too as well.
John McGinty and I. John McGinty is my director of photography for Dogs on the Sendero. He's worked on some incredible blockbusters, some really notable independent film like Love Lies Bleeding, I, Tanya, Promising Young Woman. He's been a gaffer for most of his career, and it was really, it was time for him to sit in the catbird seat And so this was, he saw this as his perfect opportunity to do so. And he jumped on board. He liked the premise of the film, really thought there was something there. And funnily enough, he and I, so we actually met twice, but we didn't realize it. So we worked together on a film for American High out in Syracuse. It was called The Binge, big Hulu production. And we were both there, and, we clicked immediately. I was working for him as a lighting tech, and he was a gaffer. And the funny thing is, we both, like, on the same day looked at our phones, and you know how, like, IMDb does, like, that 6 degrees of separation? Yeah. Mm-hmm. We realized we had worked on 2 other movies together, and we didn't realize it.
Yeah. Focused on the job.
Yeah, exactly. So, we just decided we wanted to really kind of take hold of the steering wheel and use this as our foundation to grow something else. Our crew was really small. In total for a majority of production, we were about 6 people.
Wow.
That was it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Everybody came on board knowing that they were going to be doing multiple jobs, that we weren't doing just one thing. I mean, I even knew that. And I was like, I wasn't just directing or, producing. I was making phone calls. I was making meals for people, set dressing, helping with lighting, doing sound. If I wasn't on camera, I might have picked up the boom and done sound at one point. So everybody was doing more than what they were supposed to. Like my hair and makeup girl, Marissa Culp, she and I actually, we met playing video games. Again, COVID. Yeah. So we were playing Friday the 13th, the video game. And, we just got to talking, and she was telling me about her background doing hair and makeup. And I was like, you're super cool. If I ever do, a project, I'd love to bring you up. She was from West Virginia. And yeah, it just worked out. And she came up. And I tell you what, best audio we had in the entire movie was done by her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good relationships start by killing someone online. Right? the Friday the 13th. Like, yes, I killed this girl. Found out she was good at hair and makeup. So, my business brain is going here because the idea came about 13, 14 years ago, loosely. Mm-hmm. You filmed during COVID, which was now 4 or 5 years ago, and this film was released on Tuesday. So, so that's quite a lot of years. You're talking about 6 people, production company, a lot of time, a lot of effort. How do you fund it? Like, where does the money come from for something like this?
It's a great question. A lot of people have that question. So, in indie filmmaking, you're just Charlie Hustle all the time. You're figuring out ways to make this happen. Before I even wrote the script, the first thing I did was I made a list and took stock of everything that I had at my disposal, either for free or next to free. So a lot of people who worked on the film, they worked like on deferred payment. John McGinty, for example, he's an executive producer of this film, so he oses this film as much as I do. I didn't see anybody's position as being less than mine. I wrote this, I directed it, but their efforts are just as valuable and as strong as mine are. As I said, you're as strong as your weakest link. This is a team effort, and I couldn't do any of this without any of the people that I had on my team. None at all. So I compensate them accordingly, even though I'm the one who actually paid for this movie. So the initial principal photography for this film was my entire savings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was it was the first time in my life where I had money and time, right? Mm-hmm. You never have never have the two. Mm-hmm. But then because of COVID, I also had friends and people who also had time to do something, and they had a passion because they hadn't been doing anything. I think we shot in 2021. I want to say September of 2021. Okay. And you're right. It's taken a number of years to get to this point, but it's a process. I think Steven Spielberg said he chooses his productions. His projects very carefully because he knows it's going to take at least 2.5 years of his life. So, with 4 years, we're kind of on par with even like a studio picture here because, and that's like from conception basically because I wrote this thing in 2020. Yeah, it's 2021. Okay. I wrote this thing. And, it was, everything just fell into place so wonderfully and easily that we just kind of went with it. Because originally the idea was we were just going to do a proof of concept.
Okay.
I had the script. I thought it was great. I loved it. So what's the next choice? Write another script or, try to do something with this. And that was the whole purpose in writing it to begin with, right? Was I was writing it with all these ideas in mind. It's like I own the RV. Rosie's my baby.
Yeah.
she'll work for treats and kisses. So so I just kind of started, sorry, I just rebooted. I kind of started, trying to figure out, okay, maybe we can actually do this. And so we kind of had a stutter step. We started doing like kind of a proof of concept idea. But then it just, that whole feeling, like things just falling into place. And it's so many, almost like curses that turn into blessings. Like you think we had so many hurdles in production that ended up being to our benefit, just because, I can go into a few examples, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was, it really just kind of turned the tide for us and ended up really helping us out. One of the hurdles that we had was a lot of people not showing up. And that's like the biggest thing when people ask me about like productions and stuff here. When I first came up here and I started working with these, boutique production companies and everything, the biggest gripe they all had was that we didn't have talent and crew here. And I was like, what? I have like a list of all these people who are willing and ready to work, and they want something here so that they can put effort toward that. But they were right. Because as soon as I went into my own production, I realized what they were talking about. We had so many just no call, no shows. People that would not show up, actors, crew, you name it.
Really?
Yeah. And I have a list of people that
do you like cook well?
No, people show interest, but then when it's time to step up and actually put it on your schedule, like, do they show up? Or
that's the weird thing. So
I missed my big break. I could have been a movie star. We met too late.
It's not too late.
Oh my gosh!
I'll work for free. I'll work for food.
No.
Well, that's
wild though.
It's really funny you say that because so there was one day I had cast at least 50 extras and 15 people showed up. Wow. That was it. And we needed it to look like a crowd. So then we're calling people like locals just around the neighborhood saying, can you show up? But the thing was, I was paying all these people.
Oh, really?
Everybody got money. Even if it might have been, if you were coming from out of town, it might have been just your gas money.
Travel, right.
But it was still something because, I've been in that position. I started my career as an actor and doing anything I could for free and just, trying to get out there. So I didn't want to, I wasn't going to be the guy who's like, oh, well, you can put this on your resume. It's experience. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to at least give people something. Yeah.
Right.
But the funny thing is, there was another independent film that was shooting simultaneously in Utica. They weren't paying people anything. And those people showed up like... They're so important, they don't need to pay us. Like the mentality.
It's got to be the Utica Valley thing. I don't know.
So let's talk a little bit about the film Dogs on the Sendero. It's won nearly 20 awards worldwide. Yeah. Let's give people, you can view the trailer. Where can people go view the trailer?
Trailers on YouTube.
Give them a little background or a snippet on what they're going to expect from the movie without giving it away too much.
Sure. So, everybody likes to think that their project is for everyone, right? But I do certainly think that we cast a pretty wide net as far as who will enjoy this film. The film itself focuses on the journey of Saul, the main character, who goes through the tragedy of losing his wife to a school shooting. Now, that's something a lot of people don't want to talk about or view. I have to say, this is a PG-13 film.
I was just going to say that. We watched the film, and it's not graphic or right. You don't see, what's going on, but you don't see it.
Right, exactly.
Go ahead.
So it's, but that's kind of the basis or the premise or the theme of the film. It's about Saul and his loss. It's not about necessarily the people who we lose in these tragedies, but it's all the other people that these bullets hit, metaphorically. Yeah. And everybody who ever loved that person that, was a part of their lives, the degree to what they suffer after the fact. That's really what the film focuses on. And so we follow Saul go on his own kind of personal odyssey because he and his wife Gina had planned this epic summer vacation. They're both teachers, and they planned this big trip across North America in their vintage RV with their little dog Rosie. Mm-hmm. And so when he's kind of faced with this literal elephant in his driveway, he decides, you know what, I'm going to do it, and I may or may not come back.
Yeah, we watched it. I enjoyed it. I thought that there was a lot that you could relate to, like you said yourself. It's not just for teachers or people that, travel, or even dog owners. It's not, there's a little bit of everything for
Saul's
people.
journey, yeah. And not just because you're here, but I really enjoyed your acting. Truly, I don't know how to explain this, but like you're good with facial. There's probably a term for that, but like
really,
not that. That's the next film. But I don't know. I just the scene with the mom when you're the teacher and talking about like, is this my fault? And you're like, yeah, it is. Like I like that snarky kind of humor and the facial. But anyway, your background. So is this all you've ever done? Like, are you professionally trained as an actor?
I guess to a degree that anyone is.
Okay.
Yeah, I started out as an actor. That's how I started in this industry. I started as early as 16, I want to say, is when I really got into acting and kind of just dove headfirst into it. And then I quickly learned that the people that I was working with behind the camera really appreciated someone who knew what they were doing. And because with a lot of actors, is a lot of that diva mentality, right? Like, I'm the sun, you're all orbiting me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that guy, and I recognized that like immediately. Actors kind of suck. So they're
different.
They're different.
To be sensitive to.
But
special in their own way.
That's my advice to any actor. All right, learn what everybody else is doing. Don't be a diva. They're not there for you. You're there as part of the team. We're here for each other. That's it's an arc bridge. Everybody's leaning on each other, and you pull one stone out and it falls apart.
Well, I gotta say, for me, watching the film, we sat and watched it, and it was just so cool to see certain spots in there, like in the gorge. Like, that was our party spot. And we're like, oh my God, he's at the party spot in the gorge, or Betty Beavers. Like, that is like an iconic, like, people are like, oh my God, that's a name of a gas station? I'm like, yeah, it's a squirrel with a bikini on.
The whole
like,
scene
it's
in Country Farms.
Yes, it is just fun stuff. So how did you go about picking spots where you wanted to film? Like, it had to be... I mean, we were surrounded by so much craziness and uniqueness here that what was that like?
You said it. Like, that was really it. It was excuse me. Again, trying to capture what makes this place so original and unique. And I also wanted to do that when Saul hits the road too, right? So like, I wanted to go out to all these like off the beaten path places that people have to look for, because you have to look for these places to even know they exist. And I really wanted, I guess that was kind of part of the idea, is to also like drive some kind of inspiration for people to get out and travel and do more. So, because it is, it's a road movie. And that's, we've had a lot of people asking those questions. Where's this place? Where's that place?
That's what I'm saying.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
And that's it's a wonderful thing. And it's good to, get out and discover. But as far as like the places around here, we have so many, again, like unique spots. Like the Betty Beavers. That owner of that gas station, we just showed up and he was like, yeah, let's do it.
What lake did you film at?
That was Pine Lake.
That was Pine Lake.
Yeah, the owners of the Pine Lake were so gracious to let us shoot there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had, the funny thing is that we had shown up the day that we were going to shoot there. And they had agreed to let us use their main office as, the RV office.
The repair store.
Yeah. So we were like, we showed up and there's a note on the door, and they just got like a big delivery of merchandise, and they didn't have anywhere to store it. So they're storing in the office, and they were like, we can't let you in here because, we're storing all our goods. And they were just very protective of their stuff.
I'm cautiously curious as to what big shipment Pine Lake got. Like, what did they?
It's big in their eyes. It was all
I've been to
right.
Pine Lake. I don't know what they're getting delivered. It's taking up the whole
I think
storage.
it was just like T-shirts and hats and hoodies. Yeah. But this is one of those hurdles. So like their original, like their main office, it's very modern. It's clean and plain and modern. And we thought, but this would be cool because you could see the lake in the background. We'll use this. And so when we showed up, I was seeing red. I couldn't believe, because they weren't there. There was just a note on the door.
Yeah.
But they said, you can use our old office. And I was like, oh my God, what are we walking into? And like on this day, I'm spending so much money on this day. Alice Ritz is an actress that we brought in from Boston. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, and that's the thing with filmmaking, right? You can't say, well, better luck tomorrow. You have to figure it out.
Right.
So you're already spending the money, you're spending the time. It's so hard to get people together.
Yeah.
So we went into their old office, and it was like somebody just walked away from it in 1970.
They probably did.
Yeah. It was like an old garage that had been converted into an office, but there was just trash and debris and everything everywhere. And I'm losing it. And John, to his, grace, he was just like, why don't you go work with Alice? We'll get this cleaned up. We'll make this work. And sure enough, that was like one of my favorite sets in the entire film because it looked so unique.
Yeah.
And like all that
authentic.
It
truly.
because
people
it
know
was.
there's truly a place like that exists. It's not just a set. Like a lot of people probably think these are like built sets. Like that's an actual place.
That one in particular, everybody thought that, we dressed that place. That's all stuff that was there.
That's crazy.
That they had just left in there.
That's awesome.
But when I mean it was trashed.
Yeah.
It was just everywhere. But my crew just got in there, and like Mario, Austin, Marissa, and John, they all just got in there, cleaned it up, and just moved everything, and it was amazing.
If there's a sequel, go up to Otter Lake.
Yeah.
There's a gas station that does not take credit cards, and they rent VHS movies inside of this place.
my
I don't know
God,
if they rent the
that's
VCR
wild.
with
It
it,
is
but they have a
wild.
whole wall
Yeah.
of VHS. I'm like, this cannot be a booming business for you guys. But
That is so cool.
right, that. I do want to stay here though for a minute because I want to encourage the listeners of Central New York, which is primarily our audience. But although we do get a lot of people outside of New York,
we get a lot of people that have moved.
who this is their connection back to
Yes.
the area, hearing the stories and whatnot. And I would highly, highly encourage you to watch the movie, period. But if for no other reason, you guys did a fantastic job of just giving this place justice, Central New York, and making
That's
it
good to hear. I
truly
like
look
that.
amazing. Like I was telling Brandon, my barber, this morning about the movie, and I said it was a different lens, right? So we opened the conversation with you came from a different area, you saw the lens through your eyes, and we've seen it through our lens, but to see it on the big screen, I mean, we were home, but we got an 80-inch TV. But to see it on the big screen, and see the places that we've grown up with, it just gave me a whole new perspective and appreciation for how amazing it looked on screen.
Yeah.
So you guys did a tremendous job with that, and it's cool that it's winning awards globally, and this is our town, our towns, our community, and then there's the little inside stuff that probably 99.9% of the people would never catch, but we loved. You had to be wearing Gina's father's Frankfurt Pee-wee wrestling shirt.
Yes, I was.
So I have he's wearing a Reese Road Pee-wee wrestling
wrestling
Yeah, it was
shirt.
Frankfurt Skylar
so
Pee-wee wrestling.
Kelly's like, that must be Charlie's.
I thought it was Charlie.
I'm like,
That's what I thought.
It was
That's what I'm
Charlie's.
saying.
the old man. She was saying Charlie
I
the
didn't know if
kid,
it was-
and I'm
it
like,
was Gina's
nah,
brother.
it's like an adult shirt.
So
It had to be
funny.
the father. But anyway, so there's no question there, but just wanted to make mention that just the views were like a show in itself for me, just to see the views and see you pull up to places. I got gas there yesterday. You know what I mean? It was,
Well, I
neat.
do have a question, though, to play off of that. You mentioned the mom and pop spirit of the region. And how has the community, helped you make this? Have they been more than welcoming to your crew coming in and filming? Were they excited about it? Did you get a lot of people that said no? How do you think that helped or hurt the film?
This movie would not have been made in Los Angeles. It just wouldn't have happened. I'll just say that. So John's girlfriend, Allison, actually works in locations. She's a location scout basically for different productions. And when she saw what we were able to do, she was like, how the hell did you get a fire truck that would have cost me like $70,000?
Right.
Alien Fire Department.
Yeah. But that's it. It was really just
or even the
just
schools.
had to ask.
The schools were more than willing to let you come in and film and
Were they though? Because I remember 4 years ago, obviously not knowing you or what was going on, there was a hullabaloo. There was talk.
From some people,
There's
not
always,
everybody.
Wait, before I say anything, what did you hear?
Well, no, just the premise of the movie. I mean, we had a new superintendent, right? And change is hard for people in small communities. We're going through COVID, which was really hard for everybody, especially people in the school systems. And so it was a tough transition, right? New leadership, pandemic, global pandemic, the mask,
I was
who's
teaching
for
at the
it,
school
who's
at the
against
time. I was
it,
in Frankfurt.
the social,
Oh,
social distancing. And then all of a sudden, word gets out that, he's allowing this production crew to come in and do a school shooting scene. And yeah, the talk in the coffee shop was like, what is going on?
Well,
right?
actually, what we heard, and this is another one of the
Frankfurt
hurdles
to a
that
T, too. Because everybody
It's every
hears
small
different
town.
things.
it was the game of telephone, right?
Yes, Chinese telephone, for sure.
So what we heard was, word through the grapevine was that we were shooting a documentary about a mass shooting or a mass murder that happened in that school,
that's
and that we
crazy.
were planting evidence to support our claim.
That is so crazy. Yeah.
I don't know how they came to that
Wow.
conclusion, but man, they came with their pitchforks. And I will say,
Which is a movie in itself.
it kind of is. I plan on writing a book about this entire experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
But that was another blessing in disguise. So on that day, again, we've been there for hours. We had full clearances. Everything was above board, and we even had insurance. We were like insuring the whole thing. And suddenly, they were like, people wanted it shut down, and the poor superintendent, he's getting phone calls, and it's like, I'm sorry, I tried to keep them at bay, but you got to go. And so I said, at first I was like, are you kidding? I thought it was joking. He's like, no, you got to leave. You got to get out of here. You got to get out of here like now.
Maybe there is going to be a school
Frankfurt
shooting.
people are coming.
Well, that's like, again,
If they come off the hill, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Hill people, stop. Let's not get into hill people. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. So I'm in this position where I've got, this is probably the biggest crew that I've had to hire was for these 2 days, this entire undertaking, because this is, the most, not the most important part, but is like probably like the heaviest lifting.
The turning point. The premise, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, there's a lot of things that are happening, lots of extras, lots of students and stuff like that, because, we're not seeing an actual school shooting happen, but we're seeing everything happening around that school shooting. So, I'm spending a lot of money on this day, and he's telling me I got to shut it down. So I'm walking with him, and I'm just like thinking in my head, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so I walk him all the way to the other side of the school from where we were shooting. And I was like, I understand, but you got to give me like 30 or 40 minutes. We got a lot of stuff, got a lot of people to move out. There's a lot of gear. Just give me time. Give me at least 45 minutes and give me time to pack it all up. He's like, okay, I got you. Yeah. And so I walk him over there, shut the door, sprint back as fast as I can. And I'm telling John, just start shooting everything. Just start shooting. They're gonna kick us out of here. Just start shooting as much as you can. Get B-roll of everything you can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to them. I'll be right back. Talk to a bunch of other people. I told Austin. Poor Austin. So I told Austin, look, I put, like, we had everything in, like, one of those big laundry carrying, like, carts things.
Yeah.
So I turn it sideways to block as much of the hallway as I can. And I say, pick this up, put it in here, take it out. Just keep doing that. Look busy.
You look like you're packing up.
I was able to, like, unplug one light that we weren't using, and I was like, just roll this over and over again. Look busy. So he's going back and forth. I go into the classroom. The father of the kid who's playing the school shooter, is standing there, and he's wearing like cargo shorts. And I was like, "Can you be a cop?" And he's,
"Oh my God,
you want me to be like a cop?" I was like, "Yeah, you just got to be an extra. Just be a cop. Put on this coat." I throw the coat at him. It's, the police jacket. I'm wearing jeans. I literally take my pants off in front of this whole family. And I'm like, "Put these on." And then I get into my wardrobe, and we just go. We didn't slate anything that we shot in there. So like, the clapper where you're like, action.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of that. So my editor hated me because he's just going through clips. And we're just going through one by one, getting as much as we possibly can. A couple of those takes where I'm screaming is all fake because I didn't want to give them any clue that we were still shooting. Right. So I'm just going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great behind the scenes.
We shot all that in 30 minutes.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That was Nikki Velastro's first day on set. The girl who plays Gina. Her first day on set, she's got to
be like, "This is wild. Where am I right
now?
Who
are these yahoos? What have I gotten myself roped into?"
Oh my god!
But I think that helped with the energy of the scene.
I'm sure.
The urgency.
Definitely, for sure.
That is fantastic. Of all towns.
So let's talk about your upcoming project.
Leave it to Frankfurt.
You've got another film coming out. Paranormal Inspector.
Yeah, it's Inspector.
All right, so if you're troubleshooting this, if you're test market, maybe you spell it different for the
American.
Right?
It is
There's
Inspector.
An E at the end of Inspector, like
it's
Inspector
actually,
Gadget, like.
It's kind of a joke. It's not really spelled like that. So the main character's British.
Well,
His name's Wallace Peebles. And, they do spell things differently than we do. Like, theater is theatre.
Okay. All right. Now I get it. All right.
So this is kind of a play on his Britishness.
Got it. Thank you.
Don't give me dirty looks. It's Inspector.
Okay. Well, I've never seen Inspector spelled that way before.
I'm going to have a role in this movie.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm working for free.
Okay. So talk about this. This is a fun shift to paranormal ghosts.
Yeah,
do you believe in ghosts? Like, we could go in a whole separate direction.
I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but I do like. Well, it's a paranormal comedy. It's very fun. It's shot in kind of the style of like there's some like found footage, almost like The Office or like Parks and Rec. So there's a lot of fourth wall breaking. So it's based on this group of people who do paranormal inspections. And
which a ton of people do up here, for sure.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And we found a lot of comedy in that.
I'm sure.
So, but we shot the whole thing in Little Falls, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be released Halloween.
Nice.
So we got a back-to-back 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
And we could. We're at time. Unfortunately, I've got so many more questions that I want answered, but. We close all these with some rapid fire questions. Sometimes I do a good job, sometimes I don't. It's like life. Sometimes we're on a certain path, and sometimes
it depends on when he writes the questions too.
It's funny you mentioned The Journey, by the way, my squirrel brain. But I left the movie a review. All of you should watch the movie. Leave the movie a review.
Let them know where they can watch the movie though before we.
You can watch it anywhere, but you want people to go to Amazon Prime. Yeah, but you can't anywhere you rent a movie, right? I mean,
Apple TV Plus, Google Play, YouTube, Fandango at home.
Okay,
but Amazon's probably your best bet.
Okay, so I'm leaving the review, and it was I don't know what it was 5 a.m, but it was something along the lines of. Sometimes in life we think we're on a certain path or we choose a path, and then other times the path is chosen for us, but it's really all about the journey.
Right.
And so it was interesting to hear you talk about the journey and Saul's journey and see you, movie star. It's like surreal. Okay, I'll let you start.
One film you wish you had directed.
I wish I had directed. I mean, if I directed it, I probably wouldn't like it as much.
Well, you watch it and you go, "Oh my God, if I could have directed that film, it would have been awesome."
That's a tough question to answer.
We're off to a bad start with rapid fire.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
He writes them, not me.
I don't have a good.
Well, what's one of your favorite movies?
I got a lot. Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Rocky, Lawrence of Arabia. That's one of my favorite movies of all time is Lawrence of Arabia. And that's, it's funny that I mentioned that because that's kind of the grandeur that they captured in Lawrence of Arabia. That's, what we were trying to capture with Saul's Journey as well.
Okay.
All right. So the dog on the set, Rosie, was your dog.
Yep. Here she is.
Representing right there, right?
Baby.
No stunt doubles, just Rosie, right? There weren't two dogs.
Well, I mean, we had a stuffed animal to play her stand-in. But
you did? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure it was multiple. Yeah. They do that sometimes with kids. But is that chaos or comfort when it comes to having the dog with you?
It was mostly comfort.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have attempted this project with any other animal. The only reason that I even thought that it was possible is because of Rosie. Like, if it wasn't for her, this movie wouldn't exist. And unfortunately, we lost poor Rosie in April. But and it's been hard. But I knew what she was capable of. I trained her. I knew her routines, and she's such a character. She's got so many levels. My editor said whenever he would get into trouble, he would just cut to the dog.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, we have photographs to remind us of people. Like, what better thing to remind you of? You know what I mean? Like, you've got a freaking movie, an award-winning movie.
I mean, best worst thing I've ever done.
Well, yeah,
because
I get
it's
it.
so hard to watch.
I get it.
So, ghosts, real or just great for storytelling?
I can't answer definitively. It's great for storytelling for sure. Awesome storytelling device. It's funny because I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but I do have a lot of scripts that deal with ghosts.
Scott definitely believes in ghosts.
We should dig into your past. Sounds like you're being haunted by it.
Yeah. Waka waka.
That's an inside joke from pre-recording. Audience, if you're still with us, sorry. You're stuck in an RV for a week. You can do, I'll give you two choices. This is hard. You can do one movie character, or you can do one actor who we've already established you don't like actors. So if you have a movie character, who would you?
Like, if you're stuck in the RV with this person?
With the character from the movie.
With the character. Like any movie?
Any movie.
Rosie.
There
Okay.
you
That's
go.
fair. Put that one on a tee for you.
That's awesome.
Put some thought into that. I put some thought in that because I'm like, that's a hard question. But then I'm like, I'd probably want to travel with Billy Madison.
That would be terrible. If they ever put you and Billy Madison in an RV, you would never come home alive.
Yeah.
It's a path.
Okay. Well,
Saul didn't know if he was coming home. Me and Billy don't know if we're coming
Paths end.
I have no,
Everything must
I have no idea. Well, I would want to be with Jenna for a week, our daughter.
She's
I would
not
just
a
love her.
movie
Well, I'm
character.
just telling you. Like you said, an
Not
actor.
yet.
She's
I'm
an
just
actress, all
telling you.
right.
She's an actress, all right. Well, there
Fools
you go.
us.
Okay, one of your favorite local spots to grab a bite after a long day of shooting.
I love Voss's. Sorrento's is great.
That's what I mean. You can list as many. A lot of times we get caught and we ask the question,
you
"What's
can't
your
pick one.
favorite?"
Can't pick one.
It's
I
hard.
know.
It's what you're in the mood for that day, and we have so many great spots.
Oh,
so.
okay. My probably hands down my favorite restaurant is Cafe Maya in Herkimer.
Maya, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a great.
So
that's
good.
a hidden gem that a lot of people don't know about.
You gotta. It's right up our alley because we are old and we eat early.
Yes.
And they close at like 6.
Yeah.
And they're not open.
The last eating, yeah, is
you
it
gotta,
like 6
you gotta
o'clock?
get in early. You can bring your own wine. The food
Exactly.
is
It is
fantastic.
so good.
They welcome me in by name.
Exactly. Yep. It's
no
a great
doubt.
spot.
Your name is Michael Flores. The movie is Dogs on the Sendero. You can watch it all over the place. Check it out on Amazon.
Yep.
Leave a review.
Please and thank you.
How do people connect with you personally or follow the things you're doing? Obviously, more information on Wallace Peebles coming up, the Inspectre.
Yeah, I mean, you can find Dogs on the Sendero online. All of our social media handles, pretty much Dogs on the Sendero or Sendero Movie. You can go to senderomovie.com to learn more. Wallace Peebles will be launching a pretty heavy campaign for that very shortly. Obviously, it's like right around the corner in October. So you'll probably see a lot of that everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Michael. This was fun.
No,
Thank you.